morning, guys, or good afternoon. Who thought the market was open today? I know someone did. Someone woke up thinking the market was open. Oh, the earnings calendar next week? We have a packed earnings calendar? Holy shit. Oh, we sure do. Damn. Damn. Yeah, earnings season is back, folks. Ready for this? Ow. All right. Just take a look at that for a second. Bank of America, Charles Schwab, BNY Mellon. On Monday, Netflix, J&J, IBM. Tuesday, Wednesday, Tesla. Oof. Thursday, Snap, American Airlines, Verizon. Friday. Big week on the 25th. Holy crap. Microsoft, Alphabet. No, I was sleeping until 10 o'clock today, guys. I did not get out of bed. I was in my bed, sitting there. Felt very nice. Microsoft, Alphabet on Tuesday of 2 weeks from now. Facebook, PayPal. I'm not calling Facebook Meta ever. It's always Facebook to me. So you'll never hear Meta on this channel. Facebook, PayPal, Qualcomm, Apple, Amazon, Twitter, Roku, Intel, Robinhood, Caterpillar, Southwest, all on Thursday. Holy crap. AbbVie, that should be interesting. AMD, Uber, and a lot of stuff here. This is potentially market shifting, So we'll have to see. If these guys come out and say bad things, not that could really put a nail in the coffin. If they say good things, then who knows? Maybe it gives a little bit of a shift on the tech side. But yeah. All right, so that's a lot. I don't really have a schedule for you guys today. So we're just going to sort of hang out for, half an hour. Talk about what happened yesterday. Pretty crazy yesterday, guys. I really didn't expect that big of a pullback yesterday. We gave up the entire Wednesday move. So I didn't expect Nasdaq to make new lows yesterday. So that was definitely a little bit of a shock for me to see new lows be built yesterday. So this right here, guys, is the last. This is the last week. So this is Monday, and then this is the last week of trading. And yesterday, if you include this wick, yesterday just barely held on to Tuesday's lows. So just barely held on to Tuesday's lows here. So you guys can see right here, this is the Nasdaq. And so we had that push higher on Wednesday. Look how nasty that rejection was. So what do you call this, right? This is a channel, and it's a pretty nasty one. So you can see you got maybe support here, which is pretty questionable. There's a lady trying to stop the Miami Grand Prix. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to her. That ain't happening. So you got huge resistance here and maybe support here. Maybe. That's really questionable. So it's not looking tough. It's looking tough. It's looking like the market's clearly weak, still weak, and tech is just getting no love. Tech is getting no love. So you guys can see we have been in a downtrend for, how long has this been? Downtrend since this little double top back in the beginning of April. All right? Beginning of April. Since then, just downtrending, lower highs, lower lows. And now we're sitting in this channel, which this is going to be Grand Prix Karen, yeah. This is going to be crucial, guys, for the market right here. Because under this level, if you go back to the daily chart, you got a lot of empty space under there. Under this 13.8 area, you got a lot of empty space. So you could include the low of this candle. it's a little bit difficult right now knowing exactly where the strong support is, because you have a few wicks that maybe you include, maybe you don't include, right? Because you got the low of this day, which was the 24th of January. The low of that day was 13,706. So 13,706. That is the low of this candle right here. And that means we still have some room if we were to tap that low, right? We still have about 200 points. So that's still a decent amount lower to tap that, to tap this candle low here. That's about 200 points lower. Then you have some of these wicks. So you have a lot of wicks here. 13,850, another wick area to see if we hold. So, we're not, we haven't given up. We haven't gone into, total destruction yet, but we are getting awfully close to a possible test, a test right back to these lows again, which would be pretty nasty, right? If we start to break through these two levels here, I mean, you're going to move down to 13.2 again pretty quickly. We could definitely see a 13.2 retest down at these lows. So it's going to be an interesting week. This is not the week to try to, this is definitely not the week coming up to try to guess, where this goes. This is a week that is pretty crucial for maybe the next month. I think this sort of gives you a really big indication on what happens maybe over the next month. And then you got earnings that's just all sort of compiled in this price action mess. So it's going to be a very interesting month of April, because you got a lot of pressure on the technicals, and you have earnings that is probably one of the only catalysts that could help this hold up, on the tech side at least, right? Because when I talk, I think a lot of people need to start really separating our judgment of the market, because tech is tech, right? And tech is really the only extremely weak sector, because you have stocks and sectors like the XLP, which are insanely strong still. So we can't say that, everything's going to shit, because there are clearly strong sectors out there. XLP, XLE made new highs. XLV was pretty strong. It's pulling back a little bit, but has been pretty strong in the short term. So it's really just all about the tech, and that probably comes back to, obviously everything going on in the macro picture, and then of course the 10-year. The 10-year is just rocketing higher, guys. New highs on the 10-year, and it's just not stopping. That just not helping at all. So if we go to max available time on the 10-year, we are back at, what levels are these? We are back in the 2018 levels on the 10-year. So just a big pop here. That is obviously not helping tech whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not really here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm just here to tell you what to look out for. This is definitely something to look out for. These lows here, basically right around 13,890, 13,9, and then at the very lowest, you have this wick at 13.7. That's like the last resort, if any. This last wick at 13.7. I think if you're under that, you're coming down to these lows without a doubt. Right down here, even 13,000, for sure. Market profile, yeah, market profile is useful, definitely. You can see market profile in the technicals though. Like you know where you can tell where market is, where the market profile is sort of indicating strength or weakness just by looking at technicals. So sort of in this area is going to be big, right? Because you have a lot of previous support, resistance, and possible support again. So it's sort of market profile and everything like that, book map, all those things. I think is just I could be wrong, but I think it's just an extra confirmation of what you can already see on the charts. But of course, it definitely does help a lot of people. So that's the Nasdaq, guys. I mean, this is going to be a huge week, and you guys can just see in this short term here, it has been very, very volatile and very, very, just very, very hard, weak, really. You got a double top here, and you have this low that we'll see if holds. It's right there. I mean, it barely hung on to Tuesday's lows here. If I zoom in, you guys can see we just barely hung on to Tuesday lows at the close of Friday or Thursday, yesterday. So this is going to be big. This is definitely something to watch. If we start losing these levels, we might be in for it a little bit. And the really earnings is the thing that could bail us out. That's really it. ES is just classic weakness, classic stair step. Look at this. All right, look at that. That is just, I really don't need to explain what's going on here. It's perfect. Look how clean that is. Support, support, resistance, resistance. Just really nice stuff on the ES. So you just got to continue to play these levels, it seems. I wouldn't look for any type of, break above until it actually starts to happen. I would probably, it seems to me as though playing puts off this resistance would be the best play. You can clearly see this on the ES. Right around this 44.60 level. Very clear. 44.60, support, 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 resistance, resistance, and we just failed off of it on Thursday. Now, you can see right here. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a little channel. It would be great to see us trade within this channel because then we can get some opportunity, back to the upside, back to the downside. Maybe there's some opportunity there, but you guys can clearly tell if we break this channel, it's not good. If we break this downside channel support, that is no good. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see how important this level is. Look at this. So you have this downtrend that's sort of been holding for some time now. And you have previous resistance, and it is trying to hold here. It is trying its best to hold here. If we break this, right, you should expect an extraordinary, a large slip, something like this, right? An extended slip. If after consolidating like this for a few days, once one of these channel levels breaks, let's say either to the upside or to the downside, after a consolidation like this, once that channel breaks after a consolidation of a week, it's going to cause significant moves. Like it's going to be significant selling or a significant breakout because there's a lot of people just waiting, looking to see what happens. And once they see what happens, they're jumping on it, right? So this is going to be very interesting as well on the ES. This is big. If we do not hold there, I would probably say you come down to the right shoulder level, which is right here. You're probably going to come down to what Piff just said, 427. 427, 4270. That's your next stop. If you break this channel, your next stop is 4270. And then you're going to start the channel here again. I can almost guarantee that. I don't like to guarantee things, but that's just how this market is. It's sticking to technicals very cleanly. So you're at this technical level. That's where it should have held. We've been looking at this level for a long time, right? It's starting to hold. If it does not hold, you're coming straight down to here. There's no reason to hold anywhere else. So right there and right here. That's your next stop, 427. So that could be Monday. If we just get a gap down in a dive bomb, that could be next week, mid next week. That could maybe never happen, right? Maybe we do this. It's crazy. So again, big week, huge week on the technical side. Probably one of the biggest weeks of this year because of how important it is to either hold somewhat of an uptrend here. Are we going to hold higher highs and higher lows, or are we going to give this up? And is this going to set the tone for the rest of the month? Because it certainly will set a tone if we start to break these levels. So huge week and huge level. The Dow rejected its breakout, so that's another bearish sign. You guys can see right here. This is a big rejection of a breakout. Look how crazy this is. So you can see we we pushed above on the daily chart of this flag, and look at the wick that occurred on Thursday. That's nasty, right? Look at the wick that occurred right there. So we every time we touch this line, we wick down, and on Thursday, yesterday, we broke above it and we closed all the way back below. That is nasty. So you can see it even better on this 4-hour chart. Look at this. Look how clean that is. Rejection, 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 rejection with a 4-hour candle that popped through. See this 4-hour candle? We popped through and we came right back. So that is bearish on this trend line. You're probably needing to come back to the 42 or 34.2. Back to here. I would assume you come back to this green area. To the 34.2, test it again, maybe hold up again, and maybe eventually you get the pop through. But right now, you're not getting it. And even though the Dow is pretty weak, I mean, it did okay, right, compared to others, but there was stocks in the Dow that were ripping on Thursday, guys. Stocks that I did not expect at all. I did not expect Caterpillar to do what it did on Thursday, right? Look at this cat move. Crazy. Nike, another one. Crazy move on Nike. What else was there? AbbVie was strong after its dip. Coca-Cola, XLP name was okay. But the biggest two were Cat. Delta was strong. But yeah, Cat and Nike, man, those were just beasts. I would have never guessed that. So I didn't want to chase this thing on Thursday. We were watching it in the chat almost all day. And congrats to you guys that got into it. I just don't like chasing things that I just don't have any idea of what's going on. I'm not going to just, Cat's going up, let me go buy some, calls. But Cat had a ridiculous day, and so did Nike. Just crazy. Wouldn't have expected it. So, last but not least, Russell, just doing nothing as usual. Just doing absolutely nothing. Sitting in a channel. Whole bunch of nothing. Hold on, someone texted me. So, yeah, sideways channel on Russell. Not much going on there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nvidia. So Nvidia, I took a loss on Nvidia, guys, on Thursday. I got into a trade on Wednesday looking for continuation off this 215. I had my stop under 215, and I got stopped out. So I took my loss. It was about a $300 loss. Unfortunate. I think I'm just a little bit early to the game here. So I think there's an opportunity off this if we do get that Nasdaq push, but that Nasdaq push, as we're talking about, it's just not ready. It's not there yet. So that's just an example of maybe being a little bit too aggressive. And sometimes when you're aggressive, you do take losers. But I think it's smart of me to get out where I did, because if this actually breaks down, right? If we actually get the breakdown on the Nasdaq, Nvidia is going to be an ugly stock for the short term. Because Nvidia has been a very weak name, very weak compared to other tech. So I did take my loser there, but I'm still very interested in this area. That's something that I'm definitely watching. The problem that I'm having with catching this potential move, is it's very sloppy on the lower end here. It's very sloppy. There's no real significant level. You got a lot of wicks. You got a wick here. You got a level here. You got another wick right here, right? And you got a wick here. So there's a lot of different. It's not a single level here, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to trade. To know which level to trade here. You have 212. You have 208. You have 206. So you have a lot of lows to try to play off of, and that makes it a little bit more difficult because you just don't know. Which one am I gonna use as my stop loss? Which one is the level that we can't break below? It's more of a range right now. 212 to 206 is about a $6 range on Nvidia. So just not ready to take the play, not ready to really go in with size because you just don't see it yet, right? It's just not quite there. It's just really it's been consolidating for 4 straight days. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see that it's just not quite ready to try to play off these lows. You can see there's a lot of lows here to watch, but nothing of significance, in my opinion, just yet. Facebook at all-time high. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on Nvidia. I would be watching it. I think it's a good share buying opportunity. Absolutely. I mean, I'll be buying shares of Nvidia. That's not, for the share buying, it's a 30-year time horizon, so it's not a big deal for me. But for options, you got to be very careful here, because I think the only way to really get confirmation here is to wait for this breakout. Excuse me. I think this is what you wait for if you actually want real confirmation. Right here, guys. 227, 228. Look at this. Look how clean that rejection was yesterday. My God. Yeah, that was, sometimes when you look at this in hindsight, you spot how easy it is, right? I actually didn't really catch this rejection as much as I should have. Look at this morning push on Nvidia. This is market open. Look at that morning push. This was the first 5 minutes of the market. Look at where it rejected. My goodness. That is pretty perfect. And if you go to the hourly chart, where was that level? Right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty clean in hindsight, right? Look at that. Boom and boom. Just a nasty rejection right off that level. So what does that tell you, right? What does that tell you, that level? Well, if you were to see something like this, let's say, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say it does happen. If you see something like this and you start to hold here, this is where you start to attack, I think. That's where you would start to attack, because that would be a pretty clean breakout of previous resistance, and that would give you, I think, this beginning of of more strength. But that needs to happen first, and right now that does not look like it's happening. So that's what I would watch, right? That's what I would watch. 227, 228. If you want that really strong confirmation. For the downside, just watch Nasdaq, right? If the Nasdaq starts to slip, guys, on Monday, then so is Nvidia. Absolutely. And it's going to move back down to these lows probably, which is around 206, 207. Right back to here. All right. So that's Nvidia. Let's look at Caterpillar, because it did have a huge breakout, but it's at a very big level. So here's Caterpillar. Let's get a little bit more time on it. Zoom out. Here we go. So here's Cat, and you can see Cat has pushed actually a really nice retest. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Look at how nice that retest is. Boom, boom, boom. Really nice retest there on Cat. But where has Cat pushed into? There's so much demand. Yeah, I think so too, Mauricio. I mean, it's there, but we gotta. The problem I'm having is there's just no catalyst for tech, guys. You just, as much as I want to see a technical bounce, I don't trust any bounce to be significant. I just don't trust anything to be too significant, because you just don't have the tech. You don't have a reason for tech to be moving higher. Everything's against tech right now. Every macro factor is fighting against tech. So it's hard to see, it's hard to see the market right now with the current market environment. It's hard to see any type of real technology move. That's the problem I'm having, and that's why I've had really very little trust in any type of upside. I've taken a few shots here and there, because I'll always do that. I'll always take shots, but nothing, that's nothing that's huge, or that's going to make me a lot of money if I'm right. Just been either keeping it small, taking small shots where I see opportunity. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Take my Cat is not technology. I don't. Who said Cat was tech? So Caterpillar. But yeah, that's what I think, Mauricio. I just I just don't see the actual macro catalyst for that to happen. You might get some technical bounces along the way, but do you trust them? That's the hard part. So earnings, maybe that's it. I mean, that could be it, Mauricio. I agree. That could be the reason. I just, I would hate to see. I still just don't like. I don't like earnings being the reason for us to move. I want to see some improvement in the more macro picture. I want to see, the only time we get a real strong tech move is I think when you start to actually see improvement in inflation. Somehow, if inflation starts to improve, if they have to raise rates more, if the rates start to slow inflation, when we start to see that curve, because there will be that time, right? There's going to be that hump. When are we going to get over the hump? Is it a year from now? Is it 2 years from now? I don't know. When do we start to get over that hump? That's when you really start to get, the rallies in tech, the real rallies, But until then, it's tough. It's tough. All right. So that's my feeling on tech. I love tech, guys, but you got to be realistic sometimes, right? It's just a tough it's a tough time to be bullish on it. So Caterpillar, just wanted to cover this because it had a huge day on Thursday. If anyone didn't catch it, really big day, up 4.5%. So yeah, it's a good day for Cat, but just be a little aware here, guys. I'd be careful chasing this thing on Monday. You got a lot of levels here, a lot of chop. You got a previous rejection point up here around 230. I would just watch 230 on Monday, guys. Just be careful here, right? You got this little 230 rejection, and you probably will reject it again here. So just be aware of that. If you guys are watching Cat, I know a lot of people are going to because it's a big mover, and you just gotta make sure you don't FOMO into this thing into a resistance level. You don't want to be FOMOing into resistance. That is the death. That is death. FOMO into resistance levels that you're not aware of. So watch out for that. We can take a look at airlines. We'll take a look at some leisure names. Yeah, AMD's been getting crushed, man. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, I have it in my long term too, right? Here's my long term. My long term went up, it went down, it's going all around. Let's pull her up. I don't know why it's not loading. Is M1 down? Huh. M1 Finance not loading? Let's see. Is my money gone? Oh no, here we go. I guess it's just my internet. So here's my long term. Down $2,000. I started this in November. So here's my value over time. Pretty consistent because I just add to it. But I started this at probably the worst time possible, right? But it doesn't matter to me when I start. This is my secondary long term. I have an IRA, SEP IRA, which I've been investing in for a few years now. This one I started last year just because I wanted some stock picking. I wanted an aggressive portfolio to invest in. So started this in November, which is basically the top of the market. And just been dollar cost averaging. Value obviously has been increasing ever since. You can see right here. And that's just because I continue to add to it. $500 a week. So was down 430 on Thursday. Up on the month, which is good. Quarter down, year down. Everything down. Down. Tesla, let's see. What's my best return? AbbVie. Cat. Hey, look at that. Caterpillar, AbbVie, Tesla. My dividend names: Chevron, Altria, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Exxon, Procter & Gamble, Costco, and Cisco. Those are sort of my dividend, sort of XLP type names. Apple, Lulu, Google, Microsoft, Home Depot, Nvidia, Upstart, AMD, and Netflix. So yeah, AMD is getting wrecked, man. AMD is getting wrecked. I own that thing at 122. It's at 93. So yeah, I mean, I just gonna continue to dollar cost average into this for the rest of my life, basically, and that is the plan. Oops, sorry, but yeah, always gonna be transparent with you guys on this. I'm not ashamed to be down on my long term. There's not many people that are up on their long term this year. So let me see if oh yeah, look at this. So here's another cool feature of M1. I used my credit card, and I should have got 5% back. Let me see. Where does it show me? So I should have got I get 5% back on gas, but I don't know what the number is. Estimated rewards and rewards portal. Oh, there it is. $2.71. That's pretty cool. So this basically puts $2.71 into ExxonMobil shares. That's basically what this does. So I use this card to get 5% back on gas, and then at ExxonMobil, and then it puts $2.71 into shares of XOM. It's pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, that's my long term. That's one of my long term. My other one is my SEP IRA. That I just invest in SPY, QQQ, and Apple pretty much. That's all I do. All right, so what's next? Let's see. Target, pretty nice move, guys. We talked about Target in our live stream day prior. Look at this break and retest. Look at this break and retest right here on Target. Really nice stuff. So you had previous resistance in this area, all in this area. I bought 400 worst stocks. M1 does it all by itself. Acorn is not M1. It's very different. Acorn just rounds up and does like change and stuff like that. That's not what M1 is. I believe that's what Acorn does. Yeah, just invest spare change into stocks. This is very different, guys. This is different. So here's Target, and this is a big watch for me. I buy them every Monday, $500 a week every Monday, and nothing will change that. I don't care what the market does. I don't care what I don't care if you tell me there's a recession coming. I don't care if you tell me there's World War III starting. I don't care if you tell me there's a tsunami wave heading for the United States that's going to destroy everything. I don't care. I'm buying stocks because no one, not a single person 30 years ago that continued to buy stocks is losing money right now. Not a single person. Now, if that changes, so be it. Right? So be it. I will accept my L. Right? If I am buying stocks until I'm 50 and I'm losing, I'll take my L. I will gladly put the L on my chest and accept that the stock market did not work for me. But 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, people that were buying stocks are all up millions of dollars if they've had a significant amount. So it is what it is. Andy, what's up, man? Andy at the money. I like you. I like your videos, Andy. I watch them. Andy's small, guys. You guys should subscribe to his channel. Shout out to Andy. Live trading. I see a lot of things that he looks for is similar to what I look for, so check him out. Resistance, and look at this right here. 2 L's make a big W. So you guys can see right here, right? Resistance, support. That's good stuff on Target. We had a lot of guys in the chat in Target. Did pretty well on Thursday. So nice job. Congrats, guys, on Target. This is a nice little chart here, right? Resistance, support. What is that? That is a break and retest. And it looks like it's breaking out of the top of this wedge which looks really good on the daily chart. Look at that. You know what this looks like? You know what that looks like right there? That looks a lot like Lulu. That looks a whole lot like Lulu. Look at Lulu. Look at what Lulu did. You guys can see, pop. You got its previous rejection, or support, rejection, got above it, got above the range. We go to the 5-minute chart. If we go to the hourly chart, I mean, you can see right here. Look at that. So you had a range, you got above it. What I'm looking for on Lulu is a retest and a buying opportunity right there. I'm looking for the buying opportunity back at 385 on Lulu. Target. What am I looking for on Target? I'm looking for a buying opportunity back at the retest of 236. And what did Target do intraday that would have been a perfect buying op? We talked about this in the Discord chat. I'm sure all you guys here are from the Discord chat anyway, so there's no really reason to show you, but what time was that at? 12 o'clock? Yeah, it's going to take too long to go back there. Got too many messages in this chat. I want to show you what it looked like at the time, because it's always good to see what things look like at the time. I'd always rather show you. I don't know why Discord's not working for me. From user. Nice. It's not working. Great. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you. It's way too far up. But basically, at this time, right, you were getting. This is what you were seeing on this is what you were seeing on Target at this time. So if you knew the 236 level was crucial, right, which we knew. We knew this 236 level was a major breakout zone. So if you're watching this stock intraday, and this is what you start to see, guys, look at this right here. So can I hide? Can I do like a black box here? Let me see if I can put like a black box right here. Black. Transparency 0. No. Won't work. But basically, what I'm trying to say here is you got the 236 break, and then about 15 minutes later, look at these reactions off 236. Look at what it started to do off 236, right? That right there is a great opportunity. That right there is a great trade. Why is that? Why is that a good trade? Because you see the 236, you get the retest, and you put your stop about maybe 20 cents lower. Maybe you give it 50 cents. And you see if it can hold the retest level. That's a nice little scalp right there, isn't it? Nice little scalp right there off the break and retest intraday. Really like that. Look at this when I zoom out. Look at it here, right? See here, previous resistance. Break, retest, held it intraday. Beautiful. Get a little scalp off of it. Really nice trade right there on Target. So I would watch Target next week and see if it holds 236. That's really what I'm watching. So I'm watching Lulu to hold 385 and Target to hold 236. Those are two watches for me. What else happened last week? Home Depot had a decent week. Sort of pulled back on Thursday. Apple. Let's take a look at Apple. Got crushed on Thursday. My God, look at that. Just gave back everything. Right back to Tuesday's lows. If you go to the daily chart, Apple's sort of sitting in thin air up here, to be honest. Right? It's pretty much sitting on thin air. I mean, you're basically just in a huge range at this point. I think you're just sitting in a monster range, sort of between 180 really and 150. You're just sort of trading in this big blank void of space, all in here, right? So Apple's going to be tough. Apple's going to be tough, and you just sort of broke below this week low. Is that a week low? Let me get more time here. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm very excited to have a weekend. I'm looking to go do something this week. So where's the first day of this week? Right here. Yeah, you're just about there. Oh, you're close. You are very close. Look how close you are. Oh, you're almost there. 165. If you break 165 next week, if we open up below 165 on Apple, this could be a very nice downside play. There is not much holding this up. So let's say we gap down. Let's say Apple starts trading around here on Monday, right? Let's say you're starting to get some price action here in the pre-market. Something like this. Little pre-market price action. What I would do is look for this. That right there. Boom. Right there. Why? Previous support into resistance. That would be nice. Play this rejection. Look for the downside. That would be perfect. Gap fill, right? Gap down on Monday. Gap fill into previous support. Take the rejection. Play it to the downside. That would be a great setup on Monday. Or you get the hold. You start to get the hold at this 165, and maybe there's some upside momentum. But either way, I think you're going to gap. You're definitely going to find a gap on Monday of one direction. You're either going to get a gap up, and maybe you look for this, right? Maybe you look for this. If you get a gap up, maybe you gap up to like 165.60. Either way, I would play this 165 level to either direction. This is going to be a really nice, clean level to play on Apple. So I would prepare yourself for that 165. Testing the prior low, also one of my lookouts. Testing the prior low. Which one? This low? Can it gap up? Man, see guys, I want everyone that watches me to have the same mindset, or at least have a really strong mindset when it comes to trading. And you just simply cannot ask those types of questions, right? Those questions just tell me that I don't mean to be rude to you, Redza, because it's not just you, man. And I don't want to say this in a mean way, because I'm a straight shooter with people. Because if I'm not a straight shooter, then you're not going to improve as a trader, right? You can't ask people if something is going to happen, because no one knows. No one, right? I cannot tell you if Apple is going to gap up. I can't tell you with any confidence what's going to happen on the market before it happens, before I start to see what's happening, before I get an idea, confirmation, right? If I see, Apple hold up here at 165, then I can tell you, yeah, hey, look out, there's some support here at 165. I think that's a great level to play off of, and I think there's some upward confirmation, right? That gives me some analysis, gives me some confirmation, but you can't, because I get that question all the time, guys, even in my Discord chat. Do I think Nvidia is going to go up on Monday? I don't know, right? I can't tell you that. No one can tell you that. Not even yourself can tell you that. No one. So it's all about looking for signals of confirmation, finding levels to play off of, and structuring your trades around them. That's all you can do. Proper risk management, accepting your loss when you're wrong, right? Maybe I say, hey, I want to take Apple off this 165 to the long side because I like the support. Maybe Monday we move higher. We start to build some higher lows. Let's say something like this. And I say, hey, all right, I think I like Apple off 165. And I want to play it to the long side with a stop under 165. My risk is down here. This is my risk. And my reward is maybe back up to the 170s. So, hey, risk reward's good. I'm accepting of my loser. This is what I think. This is my game plan. I could be wrong. I could be right. But I can't ask anyone saying, hey, do you think Apple's going to hold 165? They'll say, I have no idea. I have no idea. And it's all about, you just have to set up trades with what you like, your strategy, your structure. And you have to be accepting of losers because you're not going to be right. And yes, watch the futures. Absolutely. That's why I look at the futures every single day. And I don't mean to hound on anyone, but I just like to be straight and make sure people know that you just can't predict or ask people to predict what happens because no one knows. So that's Apple. That's a little bit of a lesson for you, a little bit of a lecture. What else? Walmart, beast of a stock, Walmart. It did sort of pull back, unfortunately. I think it's just rejecting all-time highs. I think that's sort of what happened on Thursday. So you got a rejection of all-time highs, pretty nasty too, on Walmart. Look at this. Here's the daily or the hourly chart. So does Walmart need to pull back? Probably. I mean, look at this rejection. So would I be playing? Is the opportunity, right? Because a lot of people are going to go into Monday and say, oh, I want to play Walmart long. It's been crazy strong, right? Is the risk reward to the upside or the downside here on Walmart? In my opinion, I think the risk reward is to the downside. However, the only way I would play the downside is if you start to see confirmation of weakness, right? There's a difference. There's a difference between, hey, risk reward is to the downside, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump on in, versus, right, starting to see weakness in the XLP, starting to see lower lows, lower highs in Walmart, right? You need to start waiting for that confirmation because there's a difference between a good risk to reward, something like this, and just jumping in before the market's giving you confirmation. And that is exactly why I lost on Nvidia. So I'm not innocent to doing this myself. It happens. So I got into Nvidia without enough confirmation on the overall tech market. I like the risk to reward, so I got into it, but I should have waited for more confirmation on the overall market. I did not. Tech was not strong enough, and I got killed because tech is too weak still. That's why I lost, because tech is still too weak. Will Walmart slow down? Will the XLP slow down? Right now, it's not slowing down. XLP is basically at all-time highs. The risk to reward, I think, is to the downside on Walmart at this very moment, but we need to see cracks in support. We need to see cracks in the move before we can jump in. So I'm gonna watch this 158 level as resistance, and see if I can get anything maybe back down to the 152s. It could be a nice play. But Walmart's been a strong stock, and the XLP has been monsters. Really has been. This is the place to be right now. Look at this. Look at this weekly chart. Look how clean that is. However, when you look at this weekly chart, what do you think's coming next, right? There's a pattern here, right? It's very easy. Up, down to the 50, back to the 20, back up, back to the 50. You go up, you start to deviate from the 20 and the 50 right here. What happens next? You have to pull back to the 50. Now, what is happening right now on the XLP? What is happening on the XLP? You are deviating from the 20 and the 50, which it traditionally holds very tightly. Every time the XLP has deviated from the 20 and 50 SMA, what has it done? It has pulled back, right? So I'm going to assume that there is a pullback soon to either the 20 or the 50, right? There's going to be a pullback at some point on this XLP to the 20 or the 50. Now, does that mean that everything is going to, turning to shit? No, that means that you're just getting a healthy pullback and maybe there's another opportunity. So that is something I would watch. I would never, you always want to be aware of that sector you're trading and is it overbought? Is it in a good area for a, upside or downside? And at this point, if I can see XLP weakness, even if it's just a pullback to the 20, and I can match that XLP weakness with a Walmart pullback to 152, that's great. That's a trading plan, right? That's a clear trading plan. XLP's overextended, Walmart's extended with it. I think XLP, once I start to see weakness, needs a pullback to the 20 or the 50, which it has done traditionally for a very long time, almost 2 years now. And if I see that XLP go weak, then I want to take my shot on some Walmart, which traditionally follows the XLP. So that's something I'll be watching next week. I've been very focused on the XLP sector because it really is where the strength is, and I want to be aware of what's going on there. All right, Go for like 10 more minutes, and we'll jump out of here, guys. Everyone that's watching here on this short of a stream should be, or in this private of a stream, should press the like button. I mean, come on. 220 people and only, what is that? Less than half of you have pressed the like button? That's just disrespectful, really. That's just disrespectful. What are you guys doing today? What's everyone up to today? Everyone working? Who's off? Anyone off? Our financials, I don't know if firms are off today. I think I have a buddy that works at a bank and he's still working today. Thoughts on Cat? I talked about Cat earlier, LMD. You're at a pretty big resistance level. You can go back to like maybe 20 minutes ago, and I talked about Cat. Nothing. Cleaning. I need to clean, man. I need to clean my kitchen. I might head over to and it was in Miami. I might head over to Miami. Meet some friends. I need to get out of this house. Thank you, James. Going to class. Ay, I don't miss that, JL. I do not miss that. I don't miss class. Nice round of golf. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I have been hitting the gym. Can you tell? Yeah, big. What do I think about leaps? So, leaps. I don't know. I don't know right now about leaps because you could go into an extended period of downside. It's totally possible. All right, and do you want to buy a leap now and get into like 3 months of downside? That would suck. Why is Upstart on your long-term portfolio? Because I like it long-term. That's why. Because I like Upstart. I like the business of giving out loans. I like their business of giving out loans for all different reasons. Especially, I know right now loans might be lower, right? The volume of loans might be lower, but I think Upstart has done a great job, and I think they'll also benefit maybe from a little bit of higher rates. I think their margins may increase on their loans, which would be good. I know the loan volume may lower, but I think it's not a bad time for a loan company, as long as they play their cards right. I like what they do. A lot of people I know use Upstart. I would never use it personally, just to let you know. Just not really the person to take out high volume or high interest loans. But if you're in that situation, it's really easy for people to get a loan. I want to be involved. I want to be involved in that story. I want to see how a company like Upstart could benefit from this environment. I know it's not right now because it just went ridiculously overvalued, but I don't mind putting 2% of my portfolio in it. It's really not a big deal to me, and I think I'm buying it at a good time. I'm buying it down in the under 100, so I'm buying Upstart under 100, which is basically, it IPO'd around 22, but it's not too far away from these early IPO levels. So I'm not buying it at $380, $400 a share. All right, so we'll see. That's why I like the business model. That's really it, and it's a very small amount. It's 2%. How far do you set your chart? I don't know what you mean by that, Roger. And putting at symbols, I guess, got my attention, but it's not going to make me be any happier to answer your question. How far do you set up your chart? I don't know what you mean. I look I don't know, year back, 2 years back at least. I think that's what you're asking. I want to see at least a year of price action on the daily chart. At least. And if I feel like I'm missing out on stuff, I'll go further back. My opinion, go back to all-time highs. I don't know if that's happening anytime soon to Shumbi, honestly. I think that's a far-fetched idea. We need to change a lot of things to get back to all-time highs. We can't have inflation at 8%. That's the only way we get back to all-time highs, is if we get inflation back under control. I don't know how long that takes, though. That could be years. Right? That's a very slow grinding wheel. That's not your little flywheel inside your engine. That's like 6th gear, 7th gear. That's like accelerating in 7th gear at 20 miles an hour. You probably blow up your engine doing that anyway. But yeah, that's tough. I don't think you're seeing all-time highs this year. That would be that just doesn't seem right. As bullish as I am, I'm a pretty bullish guy. I always want to see the market go up. All right, that's where I get happy when the market goes up. I'm not happy when the market's going down. It's not fun to see stocks losing value. I think it's more fun to see stocks gaining value. But even as bullish as I am at sometimes, I don't see us going to all-time highs in this current macroeconomic environment. That's tough. That's tough. Once inflation gets under control, I think that's your key. I think once investors see that the Fed's actions are helping inflationary numbers, I think that's your key. All right, guys. I'm just going to head out. It was fun. Did it for an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We didn't really look at that many stocks, but I think it's just a chill hangout. Come Monday. Come hang out Monday. Mondays where we'll look at more stuff. Monday, pre-market, 8 a.m. I'll be here. Hopefully the Nasdaq, the ES, the Dow, that helps you guys out. That's really what's most important. There is really nothing more important than the Nasdaq chart. This is all that's important, guys. This drives everything. So no matter, you could say, hey, I like Microsoft off this level for upside. It does not matter at all if the Nasdaq breaks here. If the Nasdaq goes lower, there ain't no single tech chart that's going to hold up, right? Nothing. So this is your first line of business. The Nasdaq. That is your first line of business. It does not matter what other individual stock charts are doing. If this Nasdaq cracks this level, it's all moving down, right? If you want to take Apple short and the Nasdaq rallies off this level, it does not matter what Apple looks like because Nasdaq is going to push it higher, right? So this is what should be at the forefront of your analysis. Nasdaq ES should be at the forefront of your analysis every single day. And trust me, I know a lot of people aren't doing that because I didn't used to do that. So if I didn't do that 3-4 years ago, I know people that are just starting to trade don't even look at this. And that is my goal, is to get people to understand that you have to be looking at this. That's my goal. So hopefully that helps. All right, guys. Thanks again for the 172 of you. It's more fun when there's less people. I can just relax. So thanks again. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to get some merchandise, check it out. I got new designs coming out for this next earnings. They're gonna be cool. I like the ones I made this time. So make sure to keep updated on that. If you guys got the desk mat, if you guys bought this desk mat, send them to me on Instagram. I want to see them. I want to see them at your setups. I want to see your guys' setup with the desk mat. Should be about 50 of you, just around 50. So I don't know how many are in here, but I'm sure there are some people. So thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. Go enjoy it. Have a good long weekend, and I will see you guys when? Monday. I'll see you guys Monday. Peace out.